my hole. Oh, is that the same match? It looks like he's gonna bust his hole in this one.
We are back, people.
Yes. And yes, did you miss us? Did you miss us in these 2 weeks we were gone? Because I miss sleep right now. The Rock looked like an old man doing this elbow right here. Like, this is taking a lot out of him.
Just this bit, Marcus. He barely did anything to Jinder. And then when he did the thing that everyone's talking about today of wanting to sit at the head of the table, Marcus, he looked like he went one-on-one with Jey Uso in Entrance.
Yes. My man was sweating. He looked exhausted. He was heavily breathing. It was just like, oh, this man is nervous coming out front of this crowd here in San Diego, which was a packed house.
It was. Welcome, everyone, to the Kings of the Ropes podcast. Of course, if you're watching in Latin America, but everywhere else is the Untitled Manny and Marcus show.
Yes. Yes. And you know what? We're going to start the year off right. We did do an introduction. Right there. I guess that's our introduction. That's Manny. That's me. Kings of the Ropes from it then, now, and forever, Manny. I don't care if we're in Mexico, South America. I don't even care if it's Italy. They know us as the Kings of the Ropes. We are the stars. And no, we do not have any NDAs, and you can tell it's proof when you listen to the show where everything's on the table.
We also haven't sexually assaulted someone, allegedly, Chris Jericho.
No. Yeah. Because most of the time, we're never in the same room as anybody. We're also, maybe Eric has sexually assaulted his wife. I doubt it.
or those women he takes photos of.
Oh, yep. Eric might be the NDA of the podcast. It might be him. It might be him. But our holidays was peaceful. How about yours, Chris Jericho? Why do I have to hear your name 300 times? I'm trying to celebrate Christmas. I'm saying Happy Christmas to people.
Yeah, Christmas Day he made it about him.
Yes.
Christmas Day he made it about him.
In the morning. I'm knocking on the door. Chris Jericho. It's like, hey, we doing this, and this is day. Shut up. And then Houseman's like, well, Mr. NDA, shut up. And it's like, whoa.
And he's like, I'm above an AEW rulebook. I don't even know if there is one.
Yeah. And you play him and Chris, why? I never signed anything. And it's like, what is this? What is all this? Which leads to the story that happened, 2 days ago or 3? With Kylie Ray and him NDA casting.
That was the day of World's End. That was the day of World's End. So as we were going into World's End, I think it was it was probably just going into Saturday for you. Yeah. I think it was Saturday morning for me, and I get a text from Marcus that says, Chris Jericho needs to stop with it. What was he done? Minding my own business in bed, and then I read this text. I'm like, what the fuck has he done? And I'm like,
number one trend on Twitter, all the shit going on, everything. Like, I was like, the entire time going like, let's get a peaceful holiday with no wrestling news and whatnot. Jericho's like, nah, fuck you Christmas, fuck your New Year. I'm ready to be all of that. And then, it was just, that was the major news story of the holiday, basically. It was just that carrying throughout, and it's just like, oh, this Harvey Weinstein is horrible.
To quote the exact message Marcus sent me, it was, AEW needs to chill with all their backstage drama. Jericho is now a sexual predator and is trending on Twitter.
I didn't realize I text that much. That seems like a long time. Yeah, but it's true, right? AEW can't go a week without any random ass backstage drama. Like, there's no peace. There is no peace. Like, when was it? Like, no one's even wrestling right now. Everything's taped. What the hell?
But you know what? This is another case of something going into an AEW pay-per-view and taking completely away from everything that's going on in that pay-per-view. So everyone was, the Jericho match still happened on World's End, and everyone was booing Chris Jericho as he entered the ring. People had NDA signs in the crowd.
Yeah, Jericho go away, Jarrett go away, or whatever it's called. Like, there's a lot of stuff that was going on. He's being booed throughout the night, from what I'm hearing. I didn't actually watch World's End, but a fitting title for it seems like the end of Chris Jericho.
Since he's the Ayatollah of non-disclosure.
Yeah, since he came in with the Y2J, which is a riff on Y2K, it was like this was the end. He has to end his career on New Year's. Like 25 or 24 years later, whatever we're at.
There was a lot of things on that pay-per-view that shouldn't have happened. I didn't necessarily watch it. I just watched reviews and okay, Keith Lee wasn't cleared to wrestle.
God damn it, Manny.
He tweeted that he was going into this match in her. So immediately, like maybe about half an hour before the show, Tony Khan announces that Keith Lee's not cleared. They're going to put Dustin Rhodes into the match. What doesn't make sense, Marcus, because I feel like this does a disservice to Swerve. Swerve then throws us in the block onto Dustin Rhodes' ankle. But then Dustin Rhodes proceeds to wrestle for 10 minutes. At one point, Marcus, he went to the top rope. Oof. When a cinder block has been thrown on his foot. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. That should have just been an angle, and then they should have just moved on. There was only three matches. You're a bad
man. Mattered. You're a bad man for doing it. Like, I'll chime in. We're just real quick on it. I don't know who they did this service to. Is it Swerve or the cinder block at this point?
I think it's Swerve.
Because
it's like Swerve can't be a 50-year-old veteran of the ring, despite him only having one leg to stand on.
That's like fighting an old Zach Gowen. But yeah, moving on.
There was only 3 matches that mattered on that card. It was Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland, where Adam Copeland beats him, but then he takes Kill Switch's Money in the Bank, essentially, to take the TNT title back.
Now, Manny, can you clarify this? I don't know the rules because I know it was on the 0 hour, this Battle Royal. Was it can you get a title shot for any title? Or was it just the TNT title?
Just the TNT.
I can't do that. There's too many titles.
Like, yeah, well, there's even more now. Eddie Kingston won that Triple Crown one, which that title belt looks awful. Given how beautiful some of the titles look in AEW, that is probably one of the worst that they have.
When Eddie Kingston won, I immediately started to think of, I don't know how familiar you are with the Brian McKnight discography, Manny, but I thought we were back at 1. It's a song.
Oh, 1. Yeah. 2.
But all my work is done. Eddie Kingston 1. We're back. It's nothing changed. This whole tournament was a waste of time.
It was.
Because Eddie Kingston gets all his titles back. There was I don't feel like anything's elevated. I'm not elevating Eddie for this one because there's already the international and TNT title. That's just a third mid-card title. That's all it is to me.
But you know what I don't get? I've been seeing a lot of talk about this international classic or whatever it was called. Mm-hmm. And people have been very positive about it. I don't know where we are in this because we've been pretty much down on it since it's began. Yeah, and I don't understand why we're not against. We're at somewhere else on the curve. We're pulling the curve down where everyone's praising it, but we're down here like this was bullshit.
Yeah, I think because Manny, we are in quote unquote, as the world will say, entertainment fans, and we were just watching basically a action movie with no drama or scenes in there, like. Like to me, this was like to me. It was watching the the movie The Iron Claw with all the wrestling only, no drama, no suicides, no family time. Nah, we're gonna show you in the matches.
I can't watch that till February because it doesn't come out here till February.
What?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm sure you're able to steal it somewhere, provided. I mean, acquire it somehow.
I could.
Yeah. By other means, but I'm just saying, it's like, damn, that's a long time. Quick takeaways from. I can give you my quick takeaways from that.
What, the movie or the?
Yeah. Solid movie, good movie. I think What You Call Too Short to Play Kerry Von Erich, and the Ric Flair is terrible. Once you get to Ric Flair, when you see Ric Flair and you see him do Ric Flair, man, you going like, what? They could have paid me to do a better Ric Flair than this. Either one of us. And I'm black. It looked nothing like Ric Flair. And I could have went over there and just went, woo. And be like, wow, that guy did a decent Ric Flair. This guy did a horrible Ric Flair.
And then we got the main event that was MJF versus Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe wins. We get the revealing of the devil, which was Adam Cole.
Thank God it wasn't Tony Khan.
Well, thank God it wasn't Tony Khan or Jungle Boy.
Ooh,
Jack Perry. I think, this is just what I just feel like AEW realistically this year have been given a bad hand, because every time they've done something, someone's got injured or someone's done some bullshit backstage. That's like
getting choked with real glass, or
I feel like this
Young Buck's wife for stealing merchandise money.
Yeah, this could have been wrapped up a lot quicker than this, but now we're running to this whole kayfabe thing where MJF profile from AEW roster page has been taken off.
Yep.
Where everyone believes he's re-signed with AEW, and I believe he's re-signed with AEW. I don't think there is a bidding war.
No. I think it's been too quiet about the bidding war 2024. And I think if he was going to not be there, they would have played it up more on TV when he would have left, at least.
Well, and then speaking of big contracts coming into AEW, Mercedes Moné is expected to debut in AEW tomorrow, as it seems on Dynamite. As talks broke down with WWE. And I think it's because she was asking for too much.
Yeah. Reports
allegedly Charlotte Flair.
I don't know what Charlotte's getting, but $25 million for 5 years seems like a lot from what I heard from Fightful or whatever.
Seems like a lot. And someone said something in the mid-card mess, and my instant response was she had, for her to warrant more money than Charlotte Flair, she would have had to have a great 2023. She had a underachieving 2023 because of injury.
Yeah.
So if she spent 2023 without being injured, I think, and did some incredible stuff, you could warrant going $5 million a year for 5 years. Yeah.
If she would have not turned around Stardom, I'm not saying they're a fairly company, but if she would have brought more mainstream publicity to Stardom or New Japan or wherever else she was wrestling, then it'd been like, oh shit. Like, she's a big time draw, but I didn't really get that vibe in her run due to injury and like having 3 matches, I think, all last year. I
think it was 5 in total.
Yeah, it wasn't many. And it wasn't, and then her promo work wasn't the best online. Like, it was just like a lot. I would question this in the signing of Mercedes. Tony, you're gonna give her $25 million for 5 years. How often are you going to feature your women's division? Because if it's just this once a week, 1 match a week bullshit that we get on Dynamite or Collision, maybe 2 matches or 1 or 2 segments a week, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna feature the women's division or women's wrestling, then don't pay her. Like, it doesn't make sense. That's my opinion. Yeah.
It's not in the end if you're not gonna feature them. But then I said this could be the catalyst for AEW's women's division,
or it could be the big create more drama that they already have, because they already are dealing with quote unquote Thunder Rosa and whatever hatred they have for her. And
yeah, but she's locked away on Collision now. She's not done. She's
it's all one thing now. It's one thing now. It's one thing.
I'm very confused as to if Tony's gonna take women's wrestling seriously. This is a good move, but if he isn't, this is a bad financial move. This isn't just a bad wrestling move. This is a bad financial move.
Yeah,
because
it's just
because like there was this report, and I don't think me and you spoke about it, but I think me and Eric spoke about it off air before we went on the show last year, and one of the shows at the end of the last year. Do you remember there was that report about AEW making about $40 million or something like that?
Yeah, they lost money,
but like that was like how much revenue they made, but it wasn't how much. Yeah. It wasn't the whole thing.
Yeah, WrestleNomics broke down. I think that they lost money and all this or whatever. I can't remember the amount, and then they posted all the money they did. But yeah, it seems like it's just they haven't got their TV deal, which is still up in the balance. Who knows what's going to go on with that? I was talking to somebody earlier about this, about like that it's not about who they signed right now. It's the main thing should be how do we renew this TV deal so we continue to bring in money and be the alternative product. Because if you end up on some bullshit channel like Destination America or something, which I don't think is going to happen, they'll probably end up on a decent network, and if they do, not end up on TNT. But how do you? It's about the money and profit. They have to turn a profit eventually. We're what, 4 years into this, and it just seems like it's just becoming a pitfall of money. That they're throwing all this money out everywhere. They're signing all this talent. They're doing all these big angles of destroying cars and whatnot, stadium shows and whatnot. And other than the success at Wembley, the attendance has been down, stuff like that. They need to figure out how do we make a profit from all this. And they have over 8 million wrestlers already. It's all about character and stuff. I don't know what you gave MJF or what they're planning to give MJF. Or what they gave Ospreay, or do they plan on signing Okada, who's free, and these other free agents that are available? What are they going to do with that? So it's a lot. It's a lot to go over. So I wouldn't sign anybody until I get a TV deal.
See, Luchador's saying this, but I don't necessarily agree. He's saying AEW women need time and female bookers. They do need time, but I don't necessarily feel like they need female bookers. Like if you look at, I feel like I don't watch Impact or TNA as of 2024. That I feel like that's run by Scott D'Amore
and Gail Kim.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's necessarily just it needs female bookers. I feel like it just needs people to give a shit about it.
Yeah. I don't think it's a male or female thing. It's just it's a general. It's a Tony Khan thing. Like if you go into NXT,
no, it's a Vince thing as well. It's a
Vince thing as well. Yeah, Vince, but he's out. I'm done talking about Vince.
Yeah, but like if you look at the way NXT's booked with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels is booking NXT, and before then, he just continued the trend that Triple H was doing when he was booking women's wrestling, like as a serious entity and a part of the show. Like when you watch an NXT show, Black and Gold or Modern NXT, a lot of times you get like 3 or 4 women's matches, and like maybe no men's matches on the entire show, maybe a main event or something like that. And it'd be a lot of shows like that for either NXT, for either version of it. And Tony doesn't want to take that chance because he believes people go turn away. His women's division is weak, but you do have characters, you do have wrestlers who actually can do stuff. Like I may not be a fan of Britt Baker's in-ring, similar to I'm not a fan of like LA Knight's like in-ring or whatnot. But I understand that people want to see them, and it's like this can bring people in. Just give them time. Just don't give them that half a segment, or don't do stupid segments like Ruby Soho and Angelo Parker or whatnot. Like, just have real stories,
Yeah.
or real matches. And title belts aren't going to equal anything.
Well, I
And
think
stop featuring
also
Sky Blue's ass on everything.
AEW, I think AEW is supposed to be changing again. So AEW went to this like I don't know sports entertainment kind of stuff recently, where they were trying, but like I think they're going back to their just it's a sport presentation again.
We should see.
So I think 2024 is going to be a lot of difference for AEW.
But do you think that works? Do you think being exclusively like sports based, kind of like New Japan, is going to work for them?
No,
I mean, it seemed like it was positive for the like people who enjoyed the. I can't remember the name of the title. It's Continental, right? The Continental title, the Triple Crown, whatever it is. People were into it, but I don't think the casual wrestling fan or ourselves were like, I'm enthralled with this, because I think like the intertwining story should have been in there.
I think that's what it's going to be. What they're looking to do may have worked in the 90s when wrestling was in its peak, whereas now it's kind of on a downward trend. So this is going down the sports route seems like it's going to be more niche. So you're not necessarily going to grow quickly like how like WWE will bring in Logan Paul or whatnot or Bad Bunny to do a match in hope that they bring in their audience and that helps grow. This is going to be more word of mouth in sport. If it's viewed as a sport, it's going to be more word of mouth, and it's just going to be targeted to a specific type of fan, which won't grow like the way Black and Gold was. Black and Gold was never going to be like Raw or SmackDown. Black and Gold was targeted at a specific audience that like indie wrestling and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not going to make you grow. That's going to bring eyes to you, but that's people that would already watch that.
Yeah, they already got those people.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say I agree 100% if we did have more diverse bookers in general. Not just women bookers, but people of color and stuff. I think wrestling would be a better place, just in general, if it was just more diverse instead of white dudes running the show. That's kind of what's going on in wrestling and everywhere. White men are running the show.
I have a feeling you're going to see a bigger change in the next 10 years. Because if you look at the people that are kind of on the come up now and stuff, there are more people of color coming up and more better women's wrestlers coming up.
Yeah.
So I think in the next 10 years or so, when people start to consider what they're going to do after wrestling, after they've hit their prime and stuff, they might think, oh, let me go into producing. Let me become a booker and stuff like that. I think that will happen. And then the diversity kind of just builds out. And I think it will work. I think it will be like that because I feel like there'll be less old white men in these positions.
Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at in wrestling. Yeah. I mean, it's Tony Khan is not a white man, and he's not old. I mean, he's relatively around our age or whatever, but he books like an old white man.
Marcus, I watched that press conference and I watched his eyes very closely. He resembles. Have you ever heard of a game called Octodad?
Yeah,
where it's an octopus trying to convince the world he's a human. Yeah. I think Tony Khan is a robot trying to convince the world that he's a human.
Well, I just think it like during his press conference when he had the stupid hat on and the glasses, and he's being asked serious questions about Jericho.
I know.
I'm like, at that point, you gotta take that shit off and be like, I am the owner of this company. I can't do this. Like, you're never gonna catch. And I know he's not the owner right now. You won't catch Nick Khan or Triple H doing shit like this. They're going to keep it straight. You're never going to catch them. If they're going to tell jokes and have somebody up there, you may have like a Cody or a Jay or whoever up there, playing up the character and stuff. But you ain't going to catch them looking ridiculous and having to answer serious questions.
All right, Marcus, we've spent 25 minutes talking about the ongoings of what happened in the last 2 weeks. Let's move into Raw Day 1. Let's try and speed through this so we don't do a show that's over 3 hours long today.
Let's start the year off hot and do a 3-hour start. It's so much random shit that happened during this our time away of like, oh, that happened. Yeah, it's just like, oh, wrestling decided not to take the holidays off, and it just got more and more ridiculous.
Yeah, Raw kicked off with Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax, and I think this was a huge kind of thing across the night where they played out the stories going on. Like it was kind of like we know last week you all took the fucking week off. None of us was paying attention to what was going on to wrestling, so they did video package after video package for every match.
I interpret it as a few things, Manny. One, Raw kicked off a little differently than normal. It started with Wade Barrett and Michael Cole in the ring and running down what's going on in the show.
Well.
Yeah, I was going to bring this up, and I was like, and then they had all these video packages. Day one was more in the style of a pay-per-view than it was a Monday Night Raw, kind of. And, this was the first Kevin Dunn. Do you think this is the new Raw format? Is this a new Raw format for them? That, that Wade that Michael is starting the show, and they run down, and then you go into the first match instead of, wrestler come out? Because Kevin Dunn's out after being with WWE for 80,000 years. I think it was 40.
And they were like 30 years or something.
Something like that. It's a lot. But this is the first show without him on Monday Night Raw, and I was, looking forward to am I going to notice a difference? And I was like, I don't think so. And then it started off with Wade Barrett and Michael Cole, and I went, what are we doing here?
Do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of NXT. But do you remember when it was Vic and Wade, but they would be on the apron, by the apron, not in the ring, but by the apron. So not on the announcer, but just by the apron, talking about what's coming up on the show.
Yeah. So maybe it's a little NXT influence or whatever, but I thought that was an interesting start without, Kevin Dunn's first day, we're going to do this. And start with a women's match, which I don't know the last time a Raw show just started with no promo and a women's match. It just basically that was what happened. It was like, and here's Becky Lynch, and here's a video package about her and Nia and this feud. And to make a long story short, I thought it was another good Nia match and Becky match, or just the combination. Two people who I thought have put on really good matches lately, and they did the damn thing. They told a really good story, and the ending was shocking.
I didn't expect the ending to happen the way it did. The punch didn't even look that devastating, to be honest. If you think, when you look at it, I was like, Becky just jumped into a low uppercut.
Yeah, and it had this very old school heel, I got him, real power in the punch kind of deal. And when she landed on that fist and she goes back, I go, oh. And then when Nia climbed up the rope and she was going to do the bonsai drop or whatever, I don't know, the Annihilator, I thought that she was going to move. And then when she did, I went, oh. And then she landed, I was like, well, she's going to kick out of this. And then I was like, oh, no, Nia wins. Flawless victory. A fatality.
Do you know what's funny, though? Because as Jamal just mentioned, the MK uppercut fatality. But when they cut to Becky, she looked like Guile when you beat him up in Street Fighter. It's like, and it's like the continue screen. And he's like, the blood dripping off her face.
I want to tell you how effective this fall is, because as you say, the punch to me looked good. They had the right camera angle for it. Because they were behind Nia. And I remember I went online and people were like, I can't believe Nia busted her nose again. They got people to believe that Becky really got knocked the fuck out, which she wasn't. It was a really safe move. And Nia didn't injure her. And it was just and I'm assuming she used whatever blood capsules to bleed or whatever out the nose.
I think she was bleeding before the punch even happened.
Yeah. She did something. I feel like she did something to blood. So it had to spill it. But I think it's going to tell the story of Becky and Nia. I'm assuming we're going to get another match. Maybe it's a Royal Rumble. Becky may throw her out to reignite the feud or something.
Yeah.
And then they're either leading toward Naya and Rhea in some type of clash in some match between. Maybe Naya's the opponent in Australia.
Maybe, yeah.
And Becky goes after Rhea at WrestleMania.
You would hope so.
I think that's where we're going.
The one of the most iconic people that come into the chat, but rarely here when he's kicked off a feud with El Luchador, and they're both here today. Daniel Price, Becky should borrow Cody's old face mask he used to wear, so Nia doesn't break her face again.
Or she should wear Trish's old face mask. Thank you, Trish, and thank her finally for breaking the wave in for women with broken noses.
Do you know what's interesting as well? So I had already watched this, but they had the channel on when I was getting lined up today, and I saw 3 Jamaican men react to this punch and bonsai drop, and it was one of the surreal experiences I think I'm never gonna forget.
What? So Raw was on in the background, or the highlights of Raw where it's just like,
well, I think the channel TNT Sports show it here now. It used to be BT Sports, it's now TNT Sports. They had it up on the TV midday, so they must have been doing a replay or something.
Okay.
And they were and it was on, and he had a knife essentially across my flake, like here. I could have died, Marcus, when this was happening.
I didn't realize Manny was getting a life cut line up right now, where he's like, "Oh shit, man! You don't hit the white woman like that. You don't hit the white woman like that."
The other guy was like, "She's dead. She's dead. She's dead. She's dead."
It was a well-executed death. This is a good death. Moving on. I like that we said we're going to not spend an hour on Raw. The first match lasted 10 minutes of us talking.
It was a good match. Cody Rhodes is in the ring. He talks about Nakamura. He wants to give Nakamura his opportunity to end what's going on right now, but Nakamura has other plans, and he decides to give him an extra week because it was so easy to get in his head. But he's become the author of the final chapter of his story and will close his book. It turns out later on the night, The Rock may have yeeted that book to the other side as
well. My favorite thing about this little segment, and this is going to be the briefest thing I say, is that Cody Rhodes talk about, I don't know about future because the shit with Nakamura should have been over already. I don't understand. But it's still going on. This was not supposed to leak into 2024. It should have been done. I should be ready for the Rumble. I shouldn't be worried about getting misspit in my face.
I said in the mid-card mess, they are spending far too much time on Nakamura promos. Like, they do all the artwork and everything. He can't be losing in a position like this because they lose their effect.
Well, I feel like he is Shinsuke Nakamura is WWE's answer to Malachi Black, who goes in there, talks a big game, rarely wins anything. Like, I know they had the trios title for a bit, but no one's gonna remember that at the end of the day. Like, Brody King's entire run in that tournament seemed more important than anything Malachi Black has done, just in general. But he goes and talk a big game with all his smoke and mirrors, just like Shinsuke does.
Yeah. So we move into the next match with Kofi Kingston and Jey Uso versus Imperium. The match ended abruptly as it appears Vinci got a concussion from a drop kick spot from the middle rope, where Kofi clocks him in the head. And then he bangs his head. I think he was knocked out in air because he just dropped to the air and then banged his head off the canvas. And the referee and the doctor just stopped the match.
That was like that was a really abrupt thing. Kofi didn't seem to know what was going on.
No one did. They were all trying to reach for hot tags and stuff. But the ref stopped the match. And then Vinci did tweet that in Italian that he's fine.
Yeah, he would. In the background you see him walking off, but shout out to WWE medical staff for getting there. I guess early, because it was very abrupt. Yeah. It was a tag, and then it was just like, oh, what's going on? Oh, what? All right. Jay and Kofi both didn't seem satisfied about the victory. They were just like, oh.
It makes sense, though. I think you do that to draw the attention away from whatever's going on in the ring. Like, so wherever Vinci was, you draw the camera towards you. So, like, you don't have that lingering shot of Vinci being injured in the ring. I think it was very smart to have them argue what was going on to draw the camera away, so like people at home aren't seeing that.
Yeah, that things got but I think this is the long story. I think this is leading to Jay versus Gunther for the Intercontinental title. That's where I think we're going. Maybe Kofi gets killed by Gunther in the next coming week, who just had his baby. Congratulations, by the way. And at the live event that we went to, I became a huge Ludwig Kaiser fan. I don't know why, but I think he's one of the smoothest guys in the ring. And you may get this on TV, but in person, just like the way he moved in the ring, it was just like, fuck. It gave me a lot of like Zack Sabre Jr. / Swerve Strickland. I don't know.
You say that, and I think I just put that together. The Zack Sabre Jr. thing, he is like a German Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah. Kind of turned down a little bit because I feel like Sabre Jr., he has a million different submissions, but the way they move is very similar and smooth and crisp. Like nothing's gonna go wrong. Like that's what I felt like.
If it was AEW, Tony Khan would have been on the headset saying, "Is he still breathing? Okay, good. Tell him to get up and finish the match."
I don't think he's that hard. I just think the referee, depending on the referee, would have got involved. Like, who's the one who let Mox continue? I forgot.
Oh, Rick Knox.
Rick Knox, yeah. Like, I think if there was like any other person, it probably would have stopped it. Let's continue dumping the boy's head.
The Miz TV segment with Judgment Day. R-Truth comes out in place of Dom and JD. R-Truth says he's got a lot of roles in the Judgment Day. He's just trying to make the Judgment Day likable to everybody. To which JD says this has to end because R-Truth isn't part of Judgment Day. Dom gets booed as per usual. The reference that JD shouldn't even be in Judgment Day as he lost the match a couple of weeks ago. And Dom's 2023 is him getting spanked by his daddy, driven around by his mammy, and whooped by CM Punk.
Which is funny because, he did lose the entire holiday to CM Punk. I didn't think that was canon. I didn't think the holiday tour became canon. I guess the success of a tour is always like, oh, this is canon now.
So we get the re-emerging awesome truth of the Miz and R-Truth versus JD and Dom.
A tag team, Manny, if you remember. Yeah, a tag team, if you remember, was arrested for attacking John Cena in a Hell in a Cell.
Can I just say one of the coolest moments of R-Truth? Because remember, they took out John Cena and R-Truth lit up a cigarette in the arena.
Yes. It was like it was the last time R-Truth was kind of serious, basically. That little era when he about to go into a full little Jimmy mode and all that. It was just like, oh, that's it. But good match. I enjoyed this.
I enjoyed it because R-Truth ended up in the wrong corner at one point.
He was in the corner. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know whose side to be on. It's Judgment Day versus this. It's a silly thing, but it was nice.
JD holds the Miz. R-Truth says, I'm sorry. And then mouths, I love you, like Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels. And then hits JD with a close, hits JD, and then the Miz hits the skull crushing finale for the win.
Miz on a better start than he started last year. He was like 0-500.
Chelsea Green and Piper Niven go to the club looking for a rematch for their tag team titles against Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, who then throw their drinks in their faces, but they get they get the rematch.
Let me touch on the difference between WWE and AEW drama. AEW drama, Chris Jericho, NDA, and and the Young Bucks and merchandise and wife leaving. WWE drama, Samantha Irvin loses the right to go. Chelsea Green. That's their big controversy over the holiday. And I was like thinking that in contrast, going like, that's been basically, there was a big Twitter thread about how can they take this away? It's no fun. But the logic is she's a heel and whatnot. But that was the big thing.
Yeah.
Like, but anyway, enjoyed the club scene. Enjoyed the club. I'm gonna add this to the locations of NXT universe, even though it was overall.
You can't. That's a Raw location. You can't.
No. You want to know why I'm adding it? Because the women's title is a multiple brand menu, Manny, so they can appear on NXT and be in that same club.
All right, we need to film this video at some point where we draw it as we need to map out these locations.
I'm assuming this is across the street from the bar.
I think it's attached to.
That's now owned by Gallus. By the way, Brooks and Jensen broke up in the middle of our. I hate this.
Yeah, and I texted you and I said it's a disgrace the way they ended it, as if they was a Shield. They have accomplished nothing. How dare they go out like they're the Shield?
They had their own hand movements, Manny. They did that as well. That was the way to go out. I was shocked. I was hoping a breakup, a real violent breakup, but this was what we got.
So we get Rhea Ripley versus Ivy Nile. This match went longer than I expected it to go on for.
Yeah. All right,
they haven't really sold me on Ivy in NXT or Raw, so I didn't expect Rhea to give her more than 5 minutes. But this match went on for about 10, maybe just a bit more.
So this match got a "This is awesome" chant, Manny. Did you agree or disagree?
It was good, but do you know how I don't like sometimes when Rhea Ripley gives away too much of her size, and she's not that big, she's not that tall or anything.
Well, compared to Ivy,
but compared to Ivy, but then Rhea Ripley's is portrayed as a powerhouse of the women's division, and I don't think she should be giving away so much. It's kind of similar to Gunther, where Gunther gives away a bit too much of their size to make the other guy look impressive. There's certain people you should do that for. I don't think Ivy Now is one of them.
Yeah. Well, they were selling the strength of Ivy Now's. They were selling her strength and her being a powerhouse and whatnot. But, like you said, I'm not like the biggest Ivy Now fan. Like, it was all right. The match was all right. It seemed like there was a little botchy somewhere here and there. Like, I wasn't too invested because I knew what was really gonna. Like, Rhea's not losing before Australia, like you said.
Yes,
she's not losing. No one's coming.
Like, I have no reason to care about Rhea Ripley till Australia.
Yeah, or until like February. It's February, right?
Yeah, end of February, I think.
Yeah, the end of February, and I don't feel like it's not. She's not going to get into a heated feud with anybody unless it's Becky or Nia until February anyway. So this is a throwaway match that I was like, it was solid, but I didn't get into it all the way.
And then we get the mystery returning WWE champion, which was Jinder Mahal, who basically runs down America.
Yeah, before we get to him running down America, I would like to say Jinder looked good. He didn't look as big. He slimmed down some, but I thought he looked really good and healthy. I don't know. I was like, you know what? As these people look dismayed and dejected and upset that this was the returning WWE champion, I was happy to hear Jinder's theme song. I'll just say.
Can I ask you a question, Marcus? 2024, did Jinder just drop a dead weight of Veer and Sangha?
I feel his career would do better without them. The man came out there and cut a very anti-American promo, which I was like, yeah, we haven't had a heel that was anti-American like this in a long time. Not since Rusev? I think he did to me. And when he was just doing that, I was like, Did I think it was going to last? No, because I heard the rumblings of The Rock showing up. And once Jinder came out, I was like, it's confirmed, it's The Rock. Like it was no.
I was like on the mid-card mess, maybe about 20 minutes before that segment. So during the Rhea Ripley match, I was like, what if the mystery WWE champion is Jinder Mahal, and he just making us realize that Veer and Sangha are still employed by WWE or some bullshit like that.
There were options. Like, there was murmurs I'm gonna say murmurs of Andrade being the guy because he's done with AEW, but he's never. I was like, he was never WWE champion, and I was like, where did they draw the line at WWE champion? Do they count as the main title, or
I
are they
think they were
talking
talking
about a
about the
champion?
WWE champion.
Yeah.
But on speaking of that, so Andrade is done with AEW, and the rumor is he's gonna be on NXT tonight. Because
Dragon Lee's hurt, right?
Dragon Lee's got visa issues.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dragon Lee's got visa issues, but he said someone in the LWO is going to look after it. So originally, you kind of think Carlito,
yeah,
but then a tweet came out by Zelina Vega that says she has a secret. Could it be Andrade?
Could be, but I know he still has other dates with other people in like this year, so we'll see.
He can cancel.
No, I don't think he'd cancel. I think he'd just do both.
Yeah, maybe.
Like in other random WWE news, Charlie Dempsey has been kicked off to Japan.
Oh, he's already done it.
Yeah, he's already there. Yeah.
What was it? All Japan when he was going for a Triple Crown title or something?
Yeah, I don't know if he did the full tournament, but I think he did a match. I don't know if he's done. Is he done?
I think he's done because he's got a match tonight.
I don't know. Which I was like, oh, he's working with All Japan and stuff. Shit, there's just weird stuff happening.
I have a feeling we're going to see more of that happen now, though.
And if I'm correct, Manny, and randomness, does that mean William Regal? Because he announced it online that his son would go. Does that mean his embargo, or is he allowed to be on TV again?
Well, realistically, Marcus, I think he was allowed to do stuff on socials. He just wasn't allowed to appear on TV, remember? I think that was the rule. So we couldn't have him last year go War Game.
Yeah. So I didn't know his stipulation of like not appearing. I think that embargo's over. I know this was online, but I didn't know. But I thought it appeared on one of the shows for Japan.
I didn't watch wrestling.
I didn't watch. I don't know. Jamal, help! Daniel Price says expired. Daniel Price has the contract.
If Daniel Price, if you want to show up more, you can be the show's apprentice. We need a fact checker.
Because there's so much bullshit that comes out of my mouth. A million miles a minute.
The Rock then returns to surprise everyone. Samantha Irvin's reaction was the best reaction. If you've seen it on socials, we do have it on the channel on our shorts. Go check it out. It's one of the she wasn't told, and it was like she's sitting there back, whoa, and then leaps up. It's incredible reaction. He basically defends America, and then attacks Jinder, calls him a day one douchebag. Hits the spine buster and the people's elbow. I asked you this question, Marcus: whose people's elbow was better, Habibi's or the Rock's?
It's definitely the Rock's. I'm gonna still say the Rock's. I thought my favorite part about this. I know most people's favorite part is the end when he's talking about what should I do. I'm going to go ahead sit at the head of the table. The last line, basically.
Yeah,
sit at the head of the table. That's most people's favorite part. Where it's I was like, oh, that's good. And just that reaction from the crowd was like, ooh, it felt like a Marvel stinger at the end of the show or whatnot. But that's not my favorite part, Manny, of this whole segment.
What was your favorite part?
One, it's Jinder giving the Rock the business, and I don't know why. Immediately after he sees that natural talent, I whoop your ass. Jinder's reaction of, oh no, you not. Beating the shit out of him. Kicks the shit out of Rock for a good 10 seconds. I was like, I'm okay with this. I'm okay if the Rock doesn't recover. That was my favorite part, and I don't know why. Because I died laughing. I was like, what if that was the end of the segment of Jinder just beating the Rock ass and he just walks off? I was like, shit.
But this is my whole point. Veer and Sangha are pieces of shit because they should have helped that boy out.
Yeah. Oh, no, they're pissed off because they can't get him. He can't get them TV time. He's supposed to be our manager. Oh, But I thought it was the exact same segment he had with Austin Theory until the very end. That's all it was.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody earlier, they were like, "Oh, you're saying the Rock come back?" I was like, unless he does something with the Roman or something. That's the only thing that will entertain me or make me intrigued to see the Rock. Other than that, if you're gonna bring back a returning WWE champion, you give me Steve Austin, because I don't remember the last time Steve Austin appeared in front of a live audience in front of everybody. It's WrestleMania 30 whatever.
2 years ago.
Yeah, with Kevin Owens, that was it.
Yeah.
And I would rather see Steve Austin, who also resides in California.
Well, to be fair, his last appearance was the next night where he stunned Vince and Pat McAfee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's also true.
So we get Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starr versus Natty and Tegan Knox. That match was just there. Shayna and Zoe win.
Natty walked off frustrated, I think. I don't honestly know. He kind of looked frustrated. I was like, what the fuck, Tegan? I felt like that was the vibe of this, but I don't even know what the point of this was. It happened.
I didn't care. That was the thing. It was like,
yes.
It was 3:30 in the morning when I saw this, and I was just like, I do not care.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's tough to fall on The Rock and Jinder in their little match, which I'm going to call a match now, because Jinder, there was exchangeable offense, just no pin. But I was like, I guess is where we're at. And then we go to the main event.
Yeah, which was great. I thought this was a really good main event. And it made me think, you know what? They should probably keep Drew McIntyre around.
When you were like, it's okay. You were previously on the show. Manny, Drew can go. It's okay.
Yeah, I was like, Drew could go. But then I saw this, I was like, maybe we could keep Drew. Maybe we could find some money here, some money, and keep Drew around.
Well, it's the changing character of this heel turn Drew McIntyre and his frustrations. And they had a match at the live show. It was different. It was a different match, basically. It wasn't the same. I thought I was just gonna get like basically the same. But in the middle of that, at the end of that match, it ends with Drew McIntyre going for the Claymore and people booing him, but him being distracted by the boos and grabbing the microphone and saying to the crowd, "How dare you boo me? I carried this company during that pandemic. How dare you? I didn't even get to speak. I grabbed the microphone and you're already booing. You people make me sick." And this is right before the finish. And it's how it ends, because it distracts him enough. And I enjoy his frustration of briefcase cash in, Claymore or whatever, to overpinning. It's his fault. It's his fault. But I think his mindset was, how the hell did Seth get his foot on the rope? Because he's dead. And it cost him, because he was like, I really have to kill him now. I thought I told a really good story of Drew McIntyre being like his own, like he cost himself, when he could just easily drag Seth back and just pin him again, instead of I'm going to have to pull him through a table. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Damian Priest tries to cash in during the match. Drew takes care of him, as you've already mentioned. He did hit the Claymore on Seth after he dealt with Damian Priest. He didn't need to put him through the table, which led to the stomp, the pedigree onto the table, and then the stomp, which caused the loss. But like you said, I'm really enjoying this Drew McIntyre character. Yeah. Like the best heels are the ones where you can, and villains in movies are the ones that you kind of go, you know what? They kind of got a point.
Yeah, they're kind of right, but I don't like the way they're going about it.
Yeah,
there's better ways. Cut off as a bitch, basically. Oh. With that being said, and the only thing I can take away from this Priest briefcase thing, I don't know where it ends. Where does this end?
So he's got till July to do it. I don't know where it. I don't know where it ends. But I think at some point he has to do it at Elimination Chamber. That's the only point where it makes sense now. Where if a champion goes in, they're gonna be. If he's not in the match already, they're gonna be exhausted after that match finishes. You take him out then.
Yeah.
Because I don't see anywhere else where a cash in makes sense at this point.
Yeah, and I don't see any wiggle room for it. Like, if he's going to cash in on Seth, how long is he going to keep this title? Because it's not going to be Priest versus Punk or Cody versus Priest at Mania.
Yeah.
Seth is going to have that title back by then.
I don't think Damien is a main event WrestleMania guy with a title. He just isn't.
I like Priest. This is me liking Priest, but I don't feel like he should be the champion, the world champion of any kind. And even in his faction, I'd rather give it to Finn, like over him, or even heel Dominic, or heel Dominic over him.
When you look at it, though, Finn still needs to avenge that one day title holding the title. Like he needs a title reign to vindicate his whole career.
Yeah. So I can see Priest winning the title and then just breaking up Judgment Day with Finn going after him. Maybe Finn turning face and being a demon again. But in the landscape we are at, with these top guys roaming around and even The Rock teasing to going after the head of the table, I don't know how Priest fits into this. I feel like everybody's higher than him. Whether you're Jey Uso, to The Rock, to CM Punk, to a random Brock Lesnar appearance or whatnot, I don't see where Damien fits in any of that.
Do you think you put in a failed cash-in for him, or would that ruin him completely?
I don't want to do that to him either. I mean, he has until July. The landscape could change. If Punk is the world champion, or maybe he cashes in on Punk after he wins, or somewhere in there. I don't know. Or if The Rock is fighting Roman for the title eventually, this is a way for The Rock to lose the title if Damian Priest cashes in on him.
So
it does kind of make him a name.
Everyone in the mid-card mess, well, not everyone, couple people, said that The Rock Roman is supposed to be an Elimination Chamber.
Why there?
Because it's in Australia, I guess. Because
what's he got to do in Australia?
I don't know, Marcus, but that's what they were alluding to.
If I were to give him a pay-per-view, I would probably do Royal Rumble because in Florida, at least, that's kind of like close to my,
do it
Miami,
abroad.
Florida.
Do it abroad.
I don't know why I would go to Australia at 3 a.m. to make me watch that.
Yeah, that's why, Marcus. That's why I want you to struggle. I want you to feel the struggle I feel all through the year.
Be like this, just shaking, going. Ah.
Yeah, Marcus. You know the Tribal Chief Challenge. You know how much harder that is at 4 in the morning in comparison to daytime.
It's first of all, it's evening here, Manny. It's evening. It's around 8 or 9, and Roman doesn't get to the ring until 9 p.m. or whatever the hell time it is. He starts his entrance at 8. But I don't know why Australia. I guess it's a stadium show, but I don't know. I wouldn't go with Chamber. I would probably do either. If I'm going to have him wrestle, it'd be Rumble or Mania or something like that. I'm not doing it abroad. I'm not going to put it early in the morning.
But why not? Fuck America.
This isn't Wrestle Kingdom. How dare
Fuck
you?
America.
How dare you?
I have to cover Wrestle Kingdom this next Thursday.
Yeah. I realized that. I was like, oh, we're 2 days away from Wrestle Kingdom. Come on, giddy.
I was doing the dates because I made the graphics for Thursday as well, and I was like, oh, does that mean I have to cover Wrestle Kingdom because I do not know what's going on that show?
Yeah, but Manny, I think we're. And I don't know why I can't remember the third participant in this triple threat match. I don't know why I'm blanking out. Ospreay, Moxley, and somebody else. Feels like it has the potential. I can't believe I can't remember who this third person is at all. But I feel it has the potential to be as good of a triple threat match as Joe, AJ, and Daniels. I can't remember who the third person is either, though. That's the worst part. I don't know why.
So we are back. The show of Raw was pretty good. I also didn't have someone claiming they run all of WWE on this show, so it's already gone up a grade.
No, Rhea in the video package said it.
Nah, that doesn't count.
Damn, why can't I figure out? Oh, is it David Finlay? That's why I can't remember. That's on me.
Trash.
Well, I mean, Okada and Bryan Danielson gets the
wrestle. Yeah, so we'll be back on Thursday. Any idea when ET is coming back, Marcus?
Starting next week, ET will be back for sure.
Is this the matches compilation or is just whatever going on in wrestling?
It's probably going to be a match compilation thing.
Okay.
And then who knows? I gotta talk to Jamal. I gotta figure out. I forgot to message him this week. It's a busy week. I forgot. I'm gonna be honest. We kind of could have returned tomorrow and talk about stuff in wrestling now. It's me. It's on me. It's on me.
Hold the show for a minute.
I was too busy winning ugly sweater competitions, Manny. I was too busy.
Yeah, I heard about that. You tell the people about that while I quickly go get the door.
Okay. So, my company, we do ugly sweater. We could have just ended the show. I don't know why we got here. But, I ended up winning #1 first prize ugly sweater competition with a giant globe of a sweater on my shoulder. There's a snow globe on the sweater. First place, #1. Can't beat me. Lights and bedazzles and stuff. And that's pretty much it. There wasn't much of a story, but niece and sister helped out with the sweater. I didn't do anything. I just kind of was like, hey, make me a sweater. And they did it. So I ended up being #1. We could have ended the show. So I don't know why I had to finish the explanation why Manny got the door. We could have just been like, that's the show for the day. Blow us up. End show. I could have waited for Manny after he came back from the door. But no. I have to explain this. I have no other things to do. But if you do enjoy this content and other content, please check out our shorts, like and subscribe on the Sharpshooters, or go to Storefront tier and buy some of our newly released or oldly released merchandise. Manny, I had nothing to say. I was talking about the sweater.
I still had my headphones in, so I could hear everything you were saying.
Yeah, I was like, we could just end the show like right away.
I have started compiling more clips for a Try Not to Laugh, which I think we'll just do at the end of the month. Or should we do the mid-month because we've got the best of? We'll just do them whenever they come out. We'll try it. We'll aim to do them at the end of each month because they are funny and they're easy to put together.
Yeah, and Eric would like to participate, at which he said, I will not laugh at anything.
Then why would he participate? I'm already furious at Eric anyway, because he did not come into any of the chats or anything to engage with any of the people in the live chat.
Man, he ain't got no time for that.
What's he doing? What was he actually doing?
Develop a serious drug problem. No, I don't know.
Scratching his asshole. That's what he was doing.
Taking pictures. Going to see Michael Jackson to play. And eating and stuff.
Wait, what version of that play? The touching kids part?
No, that's all speculation. It's all speculation and backdrop. We don't really talk about that. So, this is the innocent version of the Michael Jackson story, not the guilty version.
Yeah. I think that's all that we've got coming up on the shows in the next few weeks. Stay tuned. We've got a lot of stuff planned this year as to what we're going to do. Some new content, less premieres, I think. If no one's going to show up to them.
Hey, it's hard to get up. It's hard to wake up.
I'm not sitting there by myself while I monitor a chat. Like a loser.
Hey, I was there. I showed up sporadically. And it was like, I seen this one like 2 days ago.
And the final boss and Montez Red Cup. If you keep going at Eric, I can't defend him. All right, he's not there. I can't defend him.
I don't even know what happened.
Oh, they were like, how come Manny can come to these and Marcus can come to these and Eric just doesn't show up?
Well, most of the time when they're released, Eric's at work. If you want to know the honest truth, they come in.
Holidays.
Holidays, yeah, holiday shit. You know, those are our days off. Only Manny is working during the holidays.
Yeah, which is nonsense.
Yeah, take the holidays off, Manny. It's called a break. You could have stopped.
Someone has to look after this channel.
Not in the holidays. It's on its own.
If I'm on holiday, that means one of you have to step up.
No, that means we just take a break. Just stop. We can stop.
Someone has to step up if I take a break.
Just take a break. Just stop. It's just me. Just be like, you know what? If the sharpshooters does not post for 1 day, we'll be okay. Or 2.
If the sharpshooter did not post for a week, this would happen to the channel.
Be all right. We'll bounce back.
I don't think we would.
We'll bounce back. We'll be all right. Don't fear, Manny. You have loyal subjects who will be like, hey, you didn't come out today. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. The world didn't end.
Except that one guy that complains when we don't put an audio show out.
That happens. but
let's get out of here. 2024, Happy New Year, suckers.
Oh yeah, we didn't even say that. Yeah. Happy New Year.
Peace.
Nope. No more bomb. In 2024, baby, I got rid of the bomb. It's only balloons. It's only balloons.
It's still here.
I got rid of it. What do you mean it's still there? Oh, I deleted it on my end. I'm a fool.
We out. Peace.